Bali Becik Task Force monitoring foreigners, and Governor Koster. Gilimanuk-Mengwi Toll Road will continue. Stay tuned for details. Welcome to the latest news from Bali in Indonesia. This is July 23rd, 2023, and my name is Bruce. What is the weather like today? 29.1 degrees Celsius, humidity 59%, below 60 again, that's pretty good, and the wind speed is 8.9 kilometers per hour. A little hazy today, but very, very nice again, and no rain once again. And I hate saying that now because I'm afraid it will rain later. I hope the weather is good wherever you are. If you're on the island, I hope it's good down south, where most of you probably are. And if you are in another country, I hope it is good there too. I know there's rain forecast for this weekend in Korea, in Japan. I don't know if there's going to happen or not. But so far, so good. And this is Sunday. Okay, let's get started. Short one today. Indonesia immigration forms Bali Becik task force to tackle lawless foreigners. Indonesia Immigration Directorate General of the Law and Human Rights Ministry established the Bali Becik task force assigned to crack down on foreign tourists violating regional rules and norms. Balinese people can file a report on us foreigners who are showing disrespect or illegal behavior by calling a number on the hotline. According to the Immigration Director General, the main problem regarding foreigners in Bali is the large number of foreign tourists with low spending who often make trouble. He said this on Thursday. Since Bali is in the category of cheap tourist destinations, it attracts tourists with thin pockets. According to data from the Bali Regional Office of the Law and Human Rights Ministry, 163 foreign nationals have been deported from January through June for not complying with prevailing laws and regulations in Indonesia. Baksilmai hopes that Bali Becik Task Force will reduce the number of violations of laws and norms committed by foreign citizens. The task force, he added, will take effect until December 31st, 2023. The task force consists of elements from the Immigration Directorate General, the Bali Immigration Unit of Law and Human Rights Ministry, Nuarai Immigration Office, Denpasar Immigration Office, Singaraja Immigration Office, and the Denpasar Detention Center. The task force is targeted to launch 100 immigration control operations every month in such a way without disrupting tourism activities. So yet another task force to keep an eye on us foreigners. And note, he said, those foreigners that don't have any money. Now, partly this makes sense because we see foreigners that are here that are trying to make money sometimes by doing strange things like selling t-shirts on the street. Those people got to be really desperate. Stealing food, selling food in the markets. And then, of course, we have the people who are starting businesses of their own, restaurants, hotels, surfing lessons, motorbike lessons, all of that. What about the backpackers? I don't know. They get lumped in there, the backpackers that follow the law. So this is more of if you have money, you're okay. And if you don't have money, you're suspicious. So this seems to be another, if you've got money, you're okay. We can count on you not doing bad things. And if you don't have money, or if you're spending just a little bit because you want to go on the cheap, well, you're suspect. And while a lot of the stakeholders in the Bali tourism industry are happy to see this, along with some politicians, the governor for one, and the deputy governor, some people are pushing back and saying, do we need another task force? Next segment, 3 task force to watch foreign tourists in Bali, Tourism Observer, can make you anxious. So as I said in the last segment, there is this new task force that is going to be out supervising foreigners. Previously, there were already 2 other task forces, namely the Tourism Management Task Force team and the Foreigners Monitoring Team, Timpora. Udayana University Tourism Observer Iko Mangade Mendesa said that 3 special teams formed by the local and central governments to monitor foreigners are not necessary. He said supervision and prosecution of foreigners who violate the law is the duty and function of immigration. Theoretically, he said, if the public service bureaucracy functions properly, it will no longer need temporary matters like the task force that is going to be in place until the end of the year. A task force, Mendesa said, should have been formed during the emergency situation that required quick handling, for example, when a major disaster occurs. Now, he said, we've got tourism. Is tourism a disaster? Why do we need so many teams and task force? The professor warned that the formation of 3 task forces would only waste money in the budget. Therefore, he said, the government and the immigration should maximize officers who are charged with routinely supervising foreigners in Bali. He said, immigration moves actively and passively receiving reports from the public. If that's a routine matter, then activate the routine on duty. Apart from that, Mendesa also highlighted another impact of the unnecessary formation of the task force team, namely a potential decline in foreign tourist arrivals. He said, a large number of teams and task force overseeing foreigners has the potential to reduce the comfort of foreign tourists when they want to come here for a vacation because foreign tourists may feel uncomfortable with excessive surveillance. Me, I don't like being watched. Because they will feel watched, he said. Good tourists are constantly being watched. They feel uncomfortable. Those good tourists who feel watched, they might not want to come here anymore. Previously, the Director General of Immigration at the Ministry of Law and Human Rights said that this task force is going to carry out 100 special surveillance operations. These special operations are carried on outside the normal duty of immigration officers. It's hoped that the Bali Becik task force will suppress the action of foreign tourists, the majority of whom are Caucasians in Bali, some of whom have entered the category of violating the law. Next, Bali Ombudsman welcomes tourist complaints about public services. Well, not exactly tourists. Tourists who see Bali as their home require public services from the local government. At times we have to go, and we've got a lot of bureaucracy we've got to go through usually. But sometimes they get unexpected scams, unjust and unlawful bureaucracy, bad things carried out by staff and officials. The Bali Ombudsman Office announced their eagerness to receive tourist complaints with open arms. Actually, we have an ombudswoman here in Bali, Ni Nyoman Sri Widianti. She recently saw tourists involved in breaching local laws, but she also saw that tourists have been subject to some bad conduct on the part of local officials. She said, now we can welcome complaints from tourists, which we could not do before. She said this 2 days ago on Friday in her office in Denpasar. She said the latest regulations allow tourists to file reports about glitches in the local public service system, whether it's about what they've been through while taking the services or misconduct of law enforcement towards foreigners. However, she noted, it's not really tourists that can do this. You have to have a resident permit to file a report. You have to have a kitas or a kitap. Resident permits are mandatory to get the complaints filed, she said, because it's to guarantee and verify that the complaints are valid and not a prank. She stressed that whistleblowers will be kept secret and secure. She said, we've received a few reports from tourists. Their complaints are around healthcare, licensing, and the services they bump into on a daily basis. She didn't give any specific number of reports, meaning that the ratio is probably low. Sri claimed that tourists that have reported complaints and then had the reports processed have been mostly satisfied with the output, even though some complainants wanted monetary compensation. She said some of them want our mechanism to follow their country's mechanism, such as providing monetary compensation. Sorry, we can't do that because that's not how it works here. There's no article rule like that, she said. Meanwhile, Bali Immigration Office revealed 4,366 rebellious tourists in the first quarter. Of them, 85 have been kicked out of the country. Most of them are Russian. But there is a place now for those of us who are residents, either temporary or permanent residents, kitas or kitap, to file a complaint if we think that we're being treated unfairly by local police or local bureaucracies. And finally, back to the Gilimanuk-Mengwi toll road. I talked about this, I don't know, 2 or 3 times already. There are protests going on over in that area now, and so the governor has responded. Governor of Bali, Wayan Koster, ensures that the Gilimanuk-Mengwi toll road development project continues. Bali Governor Wayan Koster spoke about the toll road construction project the other day. He said he had a meeting with the Minister of Public Works and Public Housing, PUPR, Pakbasuki, and in the meeting that was held just a couple of days ago, so that would have been probably Tuesday, the governor said there's a replacement consortium for the Gilimanuk-Mengwi toll road construction project. That's because there was a change in the consortium. The original people pulled out, and so a new group is coming in now. Koster did not deny that for the time being, the project has stopped. Nothing is happening there now. The Minister of Public Works told the governor that because there is a change in the consortium, work has to stop, but this all should be wrapped up and taken care of by the end of the month, and so work should start again. So the problem is that the representatives from the Antasari village said that nothing is clear to them right now. They've got banners up alongside the road, and you can see in the image here regarding the protest, and they said, we need to know what's going on, because if the road is going to be built, great. If the road is not going to be built, we want to plant rice, because you're going to take these rice fields, the rice paddies, and you're going to use this for the road. But if the road is not going to go on, we want to do this, we want to plant, and we want to make repairs on our houses and do all sorts of other things that we need to do with our land if we're not selling it, if it's not being used by the government. Representatives said, yeah, we're in favor of this. We're all in favor of this, but is it working or is it not working? So please be clear about this and let us know. And so that is what the governor is responding to. He said, yes, work is going to start again, should be by the end of the month. So let's say next month in August, and there should be construction going on again there. Whether that's going to happen is anybody's guess, because you know what it is here. We just have to wait and see. Okay, and that is it for today, except a couple of things. There's a lot of Bule behaving badly stuff, and I just skipped it because it's just so depressing. Just a quick wrap up here. Some foreigners fighting in one bar. A guy hit some other foreigner over the head with a bottle of bintang 4 times, requiring stitches, and he was arrested. And another one, a foreigner stabbed another foreigner, and more mental health problems. And this time a woman was acting strangely in a traditional market, and people got freaked out. Local people got freaked out. When foreigners act weird, it bothers local people a lot because they don't know what to expect from foreigners normally. And when they start acting bizarrely, yeah, they really don't know what to expect. And so they called authorities and they took the young lady to Bangli. So plenty of news about Bules behaving badly. This is the last day for the Lovina Fair, which has been going on for the past couple of days, and I just didn't talk about it, and so that's all over. If this happens to get out earlier today and you're in the area and you don't know about it, you might want to stop by. And, well, if you're in the area, you probably do know about it. I think it's gotten quite a bit of publicity. For people that have asked about the golden visa, just have to wait and see on that. Wait until it actually comes out and we find out what is going on with that. You have to look and see specifically what it's got in the document. So hang on. Remember, the document should be released by the end of the month, which is only another 8 days. Oh my goodness, 7 days. And so that's it. Thanks for viewing. Be kind to someone today, stay safe, and I will see you next time.